I'm going to show you how to do a classic portrait lighting technique known as clamshell lighting. So this is actually a part of my 30 days of lighting project that I put a video up before. You can check that out if you're interested. The idea is to do a different lighting setup every single day to kind of help get you a little more creative, build up your lighting repertoire. And so, yes, lighting repertoire. And today I'm going to talk about specifically the clamshell lighting, and I'll cover more of them in a future video and things like that. Clamshell lighting is when you take a light source, your main light, and you put it above your subject and tilt it down towards them. Now, this should be a little bit higher if I'm really going to do clamshell lighting, but I wanted to keep it in the frame just to give you an idea. I'm going to be putting up the photos as I go along as I demonstrate them, just to kind of give you an idea of what they actually turn out to be, the final images. So, I mean, this lighting's cool. It's great. You know, it's pretty even the whole way across your body and things like that. The problem is when you have a light directly above here, you kind of cast shadows under the eyes, and you can see in the photo here, and really dark shadows under the chin, things like that. And it's not as flattering as it could be. So clamshell lighting is when you take something like a bounce or a reflector, and you take this light, just kind of whoop, bounce it on up, and you can kind of see here in the video, not a lot of room, this is a giant reflector. You see here in the video without it, and then kind of adding it in. And this is with a silver reflector. And depending on what you use, for example, this is a little 5-in-1 reflector thing. If you use white here, and I'll show you here in this photo, white will actually add a little less bounce than your silver. And you could use gold as well, but if you're going to use gold, make sure that the white balance of your lighting setup is actually warmer as well. Because what will end up happening, and I'll show you right now, what happens, and you can see here, is you have really warm shadows coming in here under the chin, but then you have cooler light coming down from above. And I mean, you know, if that's a look you're going for, go ahead. But if you match the white balance of the light with this here, then everything will be all right. Now, the gold and the silver on the reflector are actually going to cast in more light. But using white is actually the typical clamshell look, because it still casts a little bit of shadow under the chin and things like that to just give it a little bit more definition than just light everywhere. Another defining characteristic of the clamshell lighting that you'll notice is in the eyes here. If we zoom in, there's the catch lights. They look very natural, they're flattering, it's a cool look. Also note, I said that most people use white, and of course you don't have to use just a reflector. You could use any kind of bounce at all. Anything, like you could use a piece of paper, you can use cardboard that's been spray painted white, like whatever you have that's white will work. In fact, this in here, if you have a there's actually a diffusion panel in the middle of it, which is slightly see-through, which is a little see-through here, which will actually bounce even less light up, so it gives you just a little bit of light that coming filled back into the shadows. But just note, if you are going to use silver or gold, here in my eyes, well, my glasses actually, I don't have anti-glare lenses on my glasses, so I actually have this weird kind of funky pattern in the thing. I don't mind it. Just something to know whenever you're doing the clamshell lighting. One thing to know, whatever you're going to use as your bounce, the height and the angle of which matter, because the closer you get to your main light, and you know, the further up your subject, usually a headshot kind of thing like that, the more light is going to be filled in under the eyes and the chin and things like that. And then the further down it goes, the less light it's going to bounce up. So that's pretty much it for clamshell lighting. It's pretty simple and straightforward, but it still has some nuances that allow you to vary how you do clamshell lighting based on your angle, the height, the type of reflector or bounce that you're going to use, and things like that. It's really great for beauty lighting and all kinds of portraits. Even corporate headshots still works really well for that. And if you like this short little tutorial on clamshell lighting, well, I've got more coming in the future on different things like split lighting, using gels, softboxes, strip lights, soft light versus hard light, diffused light versus direct light, snooting light, which is a fun thing to say. all kinds of different things coming in the future, and if you're interested, go ahead and hit subscribe, and you'll be alerted to more of those in the future. And if you like the video, hit the like button. It would totally help me out, and know that you actually got something of interest in here, and I'm not just spewing silliness, which happens anyway, because that's just my life. I'm also on all the social media places. You can find me on repertoire.com. Anyway, until the next video though, I'll see you later.